104.1 KRBE, a Cumulus media station.
Good morning, everyone.
We ready?
Live from the TXU Energy Studio.
The Roula and Ryan Show with producer Eric, Special K, and Sam.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is where you give us a call at 713-390-KRBE for Look at Me Now. If somebody told you at one point in your life that you will not amount to anything or you can't do what you're trying to do, what are you, crazy? That's too ambitious.
Or
you
maybe
can't
overcame,
do that.
like, unbelievable odds.
Exactly. We've had a lot of people against a lot of people who have been to prison, just thought they never really get a job, own their own companies.
They had a health problem that they
super
overcame.
successful. 713-390-KRBE is our phone number. Kathleen, you're up first. Good morning.
Good morning. How are y'all?
Awesome.
Great.
Fantastic.
Kathleen, tell us your story for Look at Me Now.
So when I was younger in elementary school, I was placed in special needs, but I only had this. I have dyslexia and ADHD, but they put me in there saying I had autism, and my mom knew someone and took me there and proved I didn't have it. So then she gives them these papers, and all they do is file them,
What?
and then they keep.
Well, they kept you in the same program.
What?
Special.
What?
They
so they
kept
go,
you in
thanks
the
for the
program.
papers. We'll just file them, but keep on with the
Yeah.
plan? That's
Yeah, and my mom, who's a paralegal, she has lawyers by her side. Which, sure, nothing can go wrong, right? Never mess with lawyers. I'm sure everything will be fine because they thought that would be a good idea. But so then my mom, the people with her bosses were willing to help her, and eventually she threatened to sue. And that's when they were about to shat their pants, and they're like, "Okay, whoa, we don't want that."
Are we allowed to say that?
I think so.
Are we
She
allowed?
didn't- she didn't say-
technically
She
cuss.
didn't say
I said with
I.
an
It was an
A.
A.
I didn't say with an
you're
I.
right. You're right.
It's just true. It's true.
And then
Okay, so they got real.
and they took me out, and
Okay.
but then for me to just be bullied for my dyslexia and ADHD.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
And
Hold
I,
up.
And I,
You got bullied in the class that wasn't for children with autism because you were dyslexic and had ADHD.
Yeah.
So the other kids were
Right.
messing with you because of that.
I'm sorry.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. And then
yeah. So and then they also had the audacity to tell my mom, "Oh, she's never going to make it anywhere. She will never be accepted into a private school." Like, are they trying to bait to sue?
what age were you? You said elementary school. What age? Like third grade, first grade?
I can't honestly, I can't remember. I have that watched from my memory.
Yeah.
Good.
So they tell you you're never going to be able to succeed as a student. And then what
Yeah.
was the next step? They said you'll never get to private school. Did you get into private school or did you even care to go to private school?
So currently I go to Houston Christian University, and I'm working on legal studies to be a paralegal like my mama, who I'm very close with.
So you
And,
graduated high school and you're doing well at HCU.
Yeah.
Good for
Yeah.
you, Kathleen.
Good.
And
Congratulations.
I have straight A's so far, and I only have 2 more semesters to go.
Woohoo!
Awesome.
Look at
Look
you.
at that.
I love to hear it. I love to hear it.
Did you spend a nice Mother's Day with your mom yesterday?
Yes.
Oh, good.
What did you get her? Did you get her something special or just your presence was your present?
So I got her favorite flowers and a balloon and a pair of shoes, and then we went out to a nice restaurant.
Nice.
That's super nice.
That's awesome.
Kathleen,
You're doing
thank
her
you so
proud.
much for listening to our show. We are proud of you, Kathleen. You keep on with
Thank
those
you.
straight A's, girl. That's excellent.
And shame on people for doing that to
Yes.
you.
I didn't even
I
know they
know,
could
I
do something like
know.
that. Unless you have a diagnosis of autism, they can't just make the arbitrary decision to say, hey, you probably have it. We're going to put you in this class.
And then once you go, and then no, you're not going to make it to private school.
Who
You
the
have to make-
heck would say something like that?
You don't know. Nobody knows.
No.
And
That's
I know
messed up.
I know people are like, oh, I just want them to be realistic. And no, who cares? People say they want to be the president. They want to be a celebrity.
Let him have the dream.
Have the dream. That's what's great
Who
about
are you to tear it down? Well, it's not really realistic. You can't do that, right? And here's the thing about people's comments like that. They come up on you as a surprise where you don't realize you should stand up for yourself. Because in my world, the only time somebody told me, well, you're not going to do that, it wasn't said to me like in a derogatory way, like they're making fun of me. It was somebody who was in a higher position than me in radio. I was working here answering phones, and I wanted to learn how to do all the things. Like, it's called the board. You've heard us about the board many
control
times.
board.
The control board is like where Sam and Ahmad and every regular shift, day part DJ across America stands behind the board and hits all the
Runs the
buttons.
mics and the
And I wanted to
commercials.
learn all that stuff. And this guy who worked in production, he was like, well, you're never going to get like a full-time job here, right? And I go, what?
Oh,
And I
that's
was
a
in that
terrible
very
thing.
room where we answer phones next door. And I go, oh, what do you mean? it came out of nowhere that he told me this. He was like, no, you're never going to get a full-time job here. I mean, you're going to have to like move somewhere small and like start really in a tiny town.
They love to say that.
The old-timers say that.
You have to go on. And then my
that.
first full-time gig, it was not KRBE. I worked my way up to KRBE, but I was a full-time part-timer. I was never like with benefits or anything here. My first full-time job was doing mornings in Philadelphia, which was market number 5 in the nation at the time. And then that guy, a year into my contract there, came there to get a job. And when he saw me, he goes, "Oh my God, I was wrong about you."
Well, that's nice that he was able to admit that he
it was
made
nice,
a mistake.
but it's just so weird because I felt like he wasn't saying it to me like in a mean way, but he was saying it kind of like in a haughty way.
But I think what he was saying is
a lot of us.
Because that's his
heard
position.
that.
That's what happened to him.
Yeah.
Right, because he had to do
You can
that.
only-
He's like, it's not going
You
to.
can only
You're not possible
describe
to do
what
that.
you know about personally. I think
He probably
that's
doesn't even
the
know
problem
that he-
people make.
Try to not that you remembered that so much, did he?
Oh, I remembered it so much because he was a
Some people just
full-time
throw stuff
guy
away.
who, you go to these meetings, we're all in these meetings, and you see like the people that are if I was a brand new intern at KRB and I went to a meeting that we have on Thursdays with all of the staff, I would put a lot of weight to the words that like our production director is. She's in charge of everything you hear on KRBE. Like,
Well, when you're young and you're new and you get somebody that's been in the business for a million zillion years and they say something like that to you, it's very disheartening.
Shannon's up next at 713-390-KRBE for Look at Me Now. Hi, Shannon. Good morning.
Hi.
Shannon.
Good morning.
Great.
Is this story about you or somebody in your family, the Look at Me Now story?
My son.
Okay, tell us about that.
Yes. So, and like towards the end of elementary and into middle school, he was basically like one of the worst kids in the school. He got in trouble a lot, mostly because of like if someone picked on him or something, then he would retaliate back on them, and they couldn't calm him down and things like that. So he had a bunch of anger issues. Didn't really have a really good male role model all the time. So basically, he kept getting in trouble. He finally turned everything around. They bumped him up his upright grade because he did so well. But there were still teachers who were upset, I guess, before all that because he was now getting complimented, and they would tell him like, "Why are you here? You should be locked up," and things like that. He should be in juvenile.
Oh, my
so there was
gosh.
teachers that was like talking about him as he's walking through the hallways, making sure like, "Oh, do you really got a pass to be here?" and things like that.
Well, Shannon, let me
And
ask you this
so-
question real quick. You said your son was like the worst kid in school. What age was that? And then what
That
age?
was-
Go ahead.
So it was in sixth grade. He did sixth grade twice.
Okay.
And then when he got to seventh grade, he did so well that they bumped him up to his right grade in eighth grade.
Oh, that's good.
That's nice.
Figured his stuff
So
out.
was it in eighth grade that the
Yes.
teachers were like, "What are you're not going to make it?" Or
Yes.
what? Okay, it was eighth grade
Yes,
teachers.
it was in eighth grade, and so he finally got some good role models. He had someone to advocate for him in the school and from church as well. And now he plays instruments at church, and he's also plays in a couple bands. He teaches drums, bass, guitar, piano, and vocals. He's a role model to other kids now, and he's a really good kid. And so
That's great. How old is your son now?
He's 29.
Okay.
29.
Shannon,
No,
what was
20.
it?
No, 20.
Oh, 20 now. Okay, 20.
Yes, I'm
Shannon,
not that old yet.
what was it that turned your son around? Because obviously the bad behavior was coming from somewhere, and then the good behavior came from somewhere.
Right. What turned it around was actually people who actually cared and like took him to the side and was like, "Hey, like, what's going on?" And they actually spent time with him and didn't just label him and just, get rid of him. Like the one teacher that he got into a big fight with is the one teacher who was there to have his back and say, "No, this is not who he is." Or the one teacher that said, "Oh, I think he's upset because he's hungry or something. Let me make sure he eat." And then, we'll have this conversation like, "Are you hungry? Is that why you having an attitude?" Like,
Yeah, 'cause kids are
things
cranky.
like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because as a mom, you're
So-
thinking, how am I going to get my kid to turn this around? You can't control everything. You control some stuff, but I don't know. It's a different. It's a
All it takes
battle.
is a teacher to actually care
Believe
about
in you.
you
And make a
believe in you.
difference.
Yeah,
Take the
I
time.
really think if he didn't have those role models, like he probably would have went that route and being a juvenile and all that. But because he had, people who stepped up and was like, I'll be there for him. They don't listen to the parents. So
Yep,
it's like
yeah.
That's why
it was-
teachers are so important. They change lives. They'll set
Right.
you on the path for the rest of your
Well, also,
life.
what is that? There's a stat. I'm going to misquote
to
it, but
treat
it's
them
something
better.
about it only takes one person in your life to believe in you to make you succeed. You only need one person to show belief, one person to show support. And for some reason, to Shannon's point, like we just talked about this last week, when we as parents, our kids don't don't carry the weight of our words as much as they would from maybe somebody else sometimes.
It's like coaching, like you try and tell your kid how to do something.
Right.
And then another stranger, the coach, tells them the same thing. They listen to them. You're like,
yeah.
I've been telling you that for 6 months.
I was saying that too. It's look at me now at 713-390.
Here's the thing, though. When you have somebody like that and you're lucky enough to have somebody like that, and even if it's years later, message them. Let them know that they did make a difference in your life. I have a good buddy, Eric. You know him, Guy.
Yeah.
He's a Polian.
Yep. He's a big
And I got out of
person.
college, and I was answering telephones, and he gave me a shot at being on the air in Houston, and that was a zillion years ago, and I still reach out to him and say, you made such a difference in my life. Thank you so much for believing in me.
Just takes one. Just takes one person. Y'all go to the listener line. We believe in you, Ahmad.
Thank you. Oh, I got two.
Look at you. And actually, Ahmad's going to be part of this game. We're going to play a game for New Kids on the Block tickets, guys, because it is concert week at livenation.com. Some tickets are on sale now for just $25 for different artists. We are going to feature New Kids on the Block tickets coming up next for their Magic Summer 2024 tour. It's coming to the Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion on July 13th, and we're going to play a fun little game we haven't played in a while. The No Name TV game.
Ooh, I love this game.
Now, this one could be harder than movies because everything is on TV. Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime,
Streaming
network
shows.
television.
It's hard.
Streaming shows. There are so many out there I can't even keep track.
So we need 5.
Five
contestants.
One for Roula, one for Ryan, one for Eric, one for Ahmad, and one for Special K.
We will describe the television series to you, and you will tell us the name of it for the point. Most points wins the
It
tickets.
could be
for New
anything
Kids.
from classic, the 70s, all the way up to
Brand
stuff
new
that's out now.
releases. Yeah.
Know your TV shows, people.
713-390-KRBE. Let's see who wins these tickets next on the Rule and Ryan Show.
It's the No Name TV game. It's the No Name, and it's lame. It's the No Name TV game. Rule Ryan are trying to win, and I'm la 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 la.
104.1 KRBE.
Okay.
Well, here's how this works. At 713-390-KRBE, we had 5 people standing by.
This is how you know it's
we
live.
had 5 people standing by. And something happened with our phone lines because they're amazing.
They went all blocked. I'm like, no
and
one
they all
touched
went
it.
blank. If you were standing by for this game, which you were, we had 5 contestants, and not even 10 seconds ago, they all got destroyed.
Yes.
We don't know what happened. They just dissolved.
I don't know what happened.
All
It
the
said
lines
blocked.
just imploded. So see how not one is ringing now? Something just must have happened with the line. This must be a technical glitch.
Because we need the contestants to play the game.
When we're doing a contest, and you know this, even though we have the listeners and people that know that, the lines are still going crazy. There's a dead line on every line right now, so there must be some kind of implosion happening.
Give out the number because it takes 20 seconds.
Yes,
713-390-KRBE. I gave it out right when we started the song.
I think it
and
might
nobody
be the
has called
phone.
because the phone's just fried
There's no way all contestants would drop like that.
at the same time, and then
No.
not one phone line is ringing.
Try the phone just to call someone on.
Here, I'll try calling it real quick.
Yeah.
That has happened in the past before here at this multi-million-dollar radio station that unfortunately the network of phones, not our fault, just in general, like the provider has some sort of a problem.
Yeah, I'm getting a busy signal. It's
that
going
makes
beep,
my job
beep,
easier.
beep, beep, beep.
That was a fun game, guys.
Well, we can play
Game
it for the
over.
sake of playing it
Nope.
and then just have a text contest.
Save the game.
I will save it for.
All right, we
maybe
can't do
later.
it. Oh, I was so ready. Darn.
I know. I was amped. I was ready to go.
ready to go. We
I
can't play just
know.
for fun. We can play just for fun. You're not wasting it.
I want to give people something.
I know, but now I feel so empty because we played the theme song and
people like,
everything.
People are like,
It
I
was
got
so
hung up on. I got hung
fun.
up
I know.
on.
I wanted to play.
Okay, definitely our phones are fried. Special K, we try to call it and it's a fast, busy
Yeah,
signal.
I'm going to call the engineer, see if I can go down and reset it.
Okay, well, that is not going to help, though, for
Unless we do the
next
game of
30
40.
seconds. So we could switch.
we could
switch.
try if we get it.
We could
running
switch.
It's
again.
entertainment. We
We
can
could
talk
do a
about other
little
things
switch.
too.
Okay, actually, let's talk about this. Jerry Seinfeld was chosen to be the commencement speaker at a university. Which university was it? Let me double check because now I'm.
Duke.
It was at Duke, yeah.
Didn't go well.
And here's the thing that I've noticed about Jerry Seinfeld, which I feel like I've had a lot of Jerry Seinfeld immersion lately because I was
It's unfrosted.
Unfrosted is out on Netflix, and I was watching comedians in cars getting coffee. And what I've learned with Jerry Seinfeld when he does his interviews for these 20-minute blips over the years with these comics is nothing bothers him because he has grown into the right to have nothing bother him because he has more money than most people ever see in 14 lifetimes.
He's like a billionaire now.
Even if you tried to cancel him,
He doesn't care.
who cares?
I got
He
$1 billion.
doesn't care. He does it doesn't bother him. Like Zach Galifianakis was on his show, and Zach was thrown by the fangirling people behind the camera scenes, and Jerry's like, "Why do you care? Who cares?" He goes, "Doesn't that bother you though? Like when you're out like with your kids?" He goes, "No, why? Because they're what are they gonna do? They're just gonna say hi." It's fine. Like, he's unbothered by fangirling, or he has no problem telling you he doesn't want you to fangirl. Remember that famous Kesha thing that went viral on the red carpet?
With our buddy Tommy.
Where she came up to say, "Oh my God, I love you. Can I give a hug?" And he goes, "No, I don't know who you are." And he just didn't care. And then he realized, "Oh, sorry, that was a famous person. I don't know.
Still
it
don't
wasn't
care.
famous to me." Here's part of what Jerry Seinfeld's advice was and part of his speech to the Duke University graduates.
I can't imagine how sick you are of hearing about following your passion. I say, the hell with passion. Find fascination. Fascination is way better than passion. It's not so sweaty. Effort always yields a positive value, even if the outcome of the effort is absolute failure of the desired result. This is a rule of life. Just swing the bat and pray is not a bad approach to a lot of things. Find something where you love the good parts and don't mind the bad parts too much. The torture you're comfortable with. Privilege today seems to be the worst thing you can have. I would like to take a moment to defend it. Again, a lot of you are thinking, I can't believe they invited this guy. Too late. I say, use your privilege. I grew up a Jewish boy from New York. That is a privilege if you want to be a comedian. When I started out as a comedian, I did not think I was funny. I thought I'm a little funny. Maybe I wouldn't have to be that funny. I just have to be funny enough to feed one person. And I could do that with a loaf of Wonder Bread and a jar of peanut butter. A loaf of bread and some peanut butter. That was my actual plan.
Wow.
That was it. He talks about that in his...
And meet Larry David, who is a genius.
Yeah.
Right, the two of them together. Because he says that there's a running theme in his coffee series that's been out for all these years now. He 100% is convinced, and he believes he is the best comedian there is. Like, nobody does it as good as him. Like, even the other guys that he's talking to who are stand-ups, who are like, isn't there somebody who always made you feel like he goes, no, because I know I'm good, and that guy's not good. They're not good. People aren't good.
I mean,
I'm
because
good.
he looks up for, like, stand-up, like, if you see what a stand-up does, he does that. You might not like the content of what he says,
but his delivery
you got to
method.
respect it as a comedian. You go, I can see what he's doing and how he does it, delivers it.
Okay.
From timing, punchlines.
Okay, speaking of that, Eric,
callbacks.
you know what he said in one of these interviews that made me think about this during the Tom Brady roast? If you watch any of the Tom Brady roast, Kevin Hart was like the host, right, of the Tom Brady roast, and then they have Jeffrey Ross is like the master of ceremonies.
He's the grand roaster.
Okay. Kevin Hart laughed a lot before he would say stuff. And sometimes I felt like it was filler because he was like maybe nervous or looking for the next thing to say.
Wasted.
And he'd fill the time with some laughter. And Jerry Seinfeld nails that in one of his interviews. He goes, and I don't know if he was talking about Kevin Hart because Kevin Hart's been a guest on Jerry's show for Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. But he was like, there's that one comic. He has to just laugh and laugh before he tells you the joke. He says he's setting it up by how funny it's going to be by laughing about it before he says it to you. Because I can't stand that. I can't stand that's a crutch. Laugh and laugh before you say
I agree with
Chappelle
this.
does that stuff. But Chappelle's awesome.
Chappelle delivers,
But
though.
Chappelle's
Kevin
laugh
Hart
is
did not
different.
deliver.
He laughs a lot of times after he says the punchline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like the audience, and he'll laugh.
Right.
And it makes you feel like that's the first time he ever said that. Even
And
though he's said it 100 times.
Yeah, but I wonder if Jerry Seinfeld, when he was saying that part in Comedians in Cars, was thinking Kevin Hart, maybe not before he decided to interview Kevin Hart, because that's the example I saw at the Tom Brady
was a
roast.
great
I go,
description.
That's a lot of laughing.
I think he's just talking about like a lot of comedians he sees. It's like
In
we
They
general.
start laughing
Like when we
before they
listen
tell
to
the joke.
radio shows we see or we hear things and we go, ooh, that's a crutch, or we know things because we've done it for so long.
So he's just making an observation
Yeah,
that,
but-
hey, that's
Because he goes
weak.
to comedy clubs probably and watches people, or he gets stuff, sees it. You know, he likes to know who the up and comers are.
Sure.
Like, what's a guy that Ryan can't stand? Matt
Rife.
Rife.
He's just not as funny as he thinks he is.
I don't know Matt Rife. Is Matt Rife the one on SNL?
He's a good-looking guy.
Did he host SNL?
That's subjective. No, he's not on SNL.
mean,
No, was he a host recently?
No.
No, he was not. Okay.
No, but he's just like,
He won't
he's
be
not
next year.
that funny. I mean, he thinks he is.
I never saw his stand-up
Oh.
special.
Where is he from? Like, how would I know Matt Rife?
A TikTok clip, probably. He
Okay.
does a lot of crowd work on TikTok.
Okay.
And so people kind of fell for that. Like, oh, it's funny. He could poke jokes. But him telling, like, jokes, like, in a set, people just weren't really rocking.
and the
it.
comedians didn't like
he's,
that.
he's more about, he's really hip with modern vernacular, like being like really in
the
touch
now.
with what's happening in the now, but he's just not that damn funny.
Comedians think that's like, oh, he's not taking jokes. He's just going on stage and improving.
Yeah.
Well, he was. He is.
But to me, that's a talent to go up there
It
and be
is,
able to
but
entertain and pick
call
on
me
people.
old-fashioned. I want to laugh at my comedy
Well,
shows.
what I feel like is something that because we don't do it every day. When our friend Michael Yo was here at the House of Blues, he told me I could have 5 minutes on stage to do stand-up. And I just was going to riff on, because 5 minutes, I was so stressed about the 5 minutes thinking it's going to go so fast. I went like 7 and I talked so fast. But backstage, when he was on after me and I went backstage, all of his cards were laid out on this ottoman, just with like the one-word headline. Kind of like, people here for the Roula and Ryan show, one of the things they ask me the most when they see me in person is, so you guys just have somebody's telling you what to say? And we're like, no. We're just talking to each other. And that is a comic, but what we do write is like a one-line thing. Like today when the show started, I
we wanna
knew
talk
we were
about
going to
this.
try and do Look at Me Now today at 8 o'clock. So I wrote that down. That was just written down.
We
Look
don't know
at
what's
Me
going to
Now.
happen.
And so Michael Yo had like these one-line cards, and it was about what order he wanted to do them in. And the thing that fascinated me is, I don't know if maybe it's kind of like doing Roula and Ryan show so many years. You could tell me that the line, I know exactly where it's going to go, and I don't need to look at anything. But I felt like that was really stressful to look at his cards, thinking, how's he going to remember the order of this?
He's probably just picking what he wants. Like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll do this joke real quick.
Because
I'll flow
every
into this
joke
one.
bleeds into the next one, and a great comedian will start the story with something and end the whole set going back to the first thought of the thing.
Well, a lot of
kind
times
plot.
they have just a cheat sheet on their bar stool, and it'll have a series of words, and they know to glance down, I'm going to go into that topic next.
Yeah, or was the guy
Or an
on before me?
iPad
Did he
or-
have his phone in his hand?
Yeah, that guy had the phone.
Had a phone in his
now they
hand.
put their phone on the stool. They put
Yeah.
the timer on there too, so they know how much time they
Even
have.
though, like, if you go
Right.
to the Improv, you can actually see the second clock ticking from
Or
the
there's
second they
there's
go
a
on.
light. There's a light.
Yeah,
Because the
they
House of
flash
Blues,
them.
there wasn't a comedy light where like it give you like a warning light.
Did Seinfeld say anything? Was there any audio of him? Did he make a comment when all the protesters walked out, all the kids?
Yeah, a bunch
I
of them
saw
booed him.
there.
That was the only audio.
So I didn't see any. I was
From the
looking
Duke
too. I just saw the
commencement.
What were they
That's been-
protesting? Were they protesting him, or were they protesting a cause?
Palestine.
Him,
Oh, the
because he's
Palestine
Jewish and it was a
Okay.
Palestinian protest.
okay.
And so they got up and walked out, but I didn't know if he said anything.
I didn't
Had
hear
a
it
joke
if he
or
did or
made
not.
a comment, or
And the
that would have
verdict,
made news, I guess, if he said
oh,
something.
100%. The verdict on our phone
Can't
lines is
win.
that they are truly fried.
Yep.
So from this point on, we can't take any calls until
Sorry.
the engineers can get with, I think it's AT&T that runs the phone lines for KRBE to see what happened.
People are
So-
saying that Matt Rife is awesome when he does his improv, but his Netflix special wasn't that good.
Yeah, that's what
Nothing
it
I've
was.
seen on Netflix is good. It's
Yeah,
just ugh.
I was bored with the special. It was not funny.
Okay. So Mod's got my.
Now I'm going to look him up because I have not seen him. So I want to look him
Like
up.
Dane Cook, he was big in the mid 2000s.
I just
Yeah.
remember everybody hating him as a kid. Like,
They-
I
well,
just,
they
he was
did.
kind of a
What's-
douche.
Well, no, he started out really, really strong. If you didn't know the comedy world, the first time I saw him was when he did the SNL monologue, and that's the first time SNL went back to like a real stand-up comedy comic hosting the show because they had been in the bottom of the toilet for all that time. It was just a really bad run for SNL. Then Dane Cook comes on the scene. He does his
He
monologue.
brought
It
comedy
was
back in a
awesome.
way because people go to go.
Yes, and after the SNL thing, he exploded. It was awesome. And then I don't know if it was like
He did arena
fatigue.
tours.
Yeah, he did arena tours.
Think about it, you're that
Huge.
big, you're gonna have everyone attack you. And
Yeah.
you're that big, that fast. Everyone's other comics are jealous.
And he got
Other
movie
people.
deals, and he seemed strong for a long time until they got like Dane Cook fatigue, and they tore him down. And then he's probably like, "Hey man, I still make
Who's
money."
somebody like that now? Is like John Mulaney. You know, he does those big giant stadium
Hey, but he
tours.
didn't get torn down. Like people didn't get John Mulaney fatigue. He had to just disappear because he had to go to rehab.
Yeah, but he
Yeah.
was never that big though.
No, he was not Dane Cook level.
Like Andrew Dice Clay, Dane Cook, those guys
huge.
Huge
They were
for-
a phenomena.
for a couple 2 years, and then they've just faded away.
Yeah, it's so weird how showbiz is a tricky little game. Okay, well, so we can't play the no name movie game. I guess we'll just go around
I
the
want to
table.
play. I got to play some of that audio again of that commencement speech.
Oh my God, yeah. If y'all missed this, we did this in the 6 o'clock hour. This is such a travesty. You work your tail off to have that amazing moment to walk across the stage and get your college diploma. And at Thomas Jefferson University is an epic fail of the woman who was put in charge to read the students' names. You would think she was having some kind of a mental episode or something, a stroke, or what was causing this many fails on this many simple names.
And then I have something for ladies out there. This was like stats and surveys. What is worse than childbirth for the ladies out there?
Is there anything worse than
There's
childbirth?
one thing I saw in this stat that is worse than childbirth. And
Am I going to side eye?
I think you're going to be like, yep, I
I'm gonna
agree.
side eye?
I think you're going to agree.
I think I'm going to agree.
Yep. I'll
Okay.
put $20 down.
Post Mother's Day.
I'll put in
quiz.
$1.
Let's see what it is next on the Roula and Ryan Show.
It's the Roula and Ryan Show. I'm totally curious, Eric. You made some comment that this is absolutely worse than childbirth.
And don't forget, we're going to go over the epic fail of the graduates' names at Thomas Jefferson University's graduation in a couple minutes, too.
Once you hear this, it's like,
Terrible.
I thought you were going to say AT&T because that's whose fault it is.
For the
that's why we
phones,
can't take calls.
If you're trying to call us, it's busy. It's because the phones are dead.
Sorry.
We'll do New Kids tickets tomorrow. Okay, go ahead. Let's hear this.
All right. 62% of women surveyed said this is worse than childbirth.
Okay, what?
Not 30%. It's over 50.
More than half. Okay.
Women
62%.
Hate shopping for bathing suits.
No.
So much more
Worse than childbirth?
childbirth.
That's insane. That's insane.
No.
With online shopping now
Physical
in your
pain.
own private house, just send it to your house, try it on in your house, send it back if it doesn't work. Who cares? I don't agree with that anymore.
Go
Does
to
not
the
bother
store.
me
If
anymore.
you had to go to the store and buy that.
I think like in the
then
days
wear
where you
it.
had to go to
Isn't
the
that
department
frowned
store
upon?
under those lights and do that.
Yeah, when you go, I guess you wear your underwear.
You're supposed to wear your
Or
under.
do they have like a little.
Your
pad thing
underclothes
or
should
something?
be
Like a
on.
paper
No,
underwear?
that thing grosses me out the most. It grosses me out
What?
the most.
The crispy tape that they
The
put across the
sticker
crotch?
inside the crotch of a bathing suit.
What?
It just is.
Yeah,
the
you've never
worst
seen
thing
that?
Ever. It's
No.
disgusting.
Why would he?
I hate it so
No,
much.
they'll put it. No, they will put it in like a Speedo type of bathing suit for men.
Really?
Yeah,
They do that
Even
because
in
they
underwear.
know that people don't pay attention to directions, and somebody's going to put that thing on with their naked body, and that's why it grosses me out so much. Because I could buy a T-shirt all day long from any store in this country and just wear it that day out of my house. Nothing grosses me out more than when I buy children's bathing suits or adult bathing suits, and that thing is in there. And you have to actually like remove it to wash. I'm like, oh God. Like I had to get like a paper towel to touch it because I know somebody's pubes have been on that.
you ask us not to spell it out, and here we are.
I'm just telling you, somebody's parts have been on that because that's why they use that sticker. It's so
But
disgusting.
if you go shopping, then like you guys always say, that lighting.
The lighting was terrible. I feel like
awful
now,
for shopping.
Eric, in 2024, it's easier to do that than maybe in 2000 or 1994 because you were at the mercy of the department store or the TJ Maxx or the Marshalls or wherever you're trying it on. But I feel like you can control your environment now trying on a swimsuit. And swimsuits have come such a long way. They've got like active swimwear now. It's not like if you want to wear a bikini, that's fine. You're going to be in your bra and underwear out in public on the beach. That's basically what it is.
Like your outfit, you could go to my
Oh,
wife's.
mine
You
is
go
like
to Iran and you'd like.
Oh yeah, I thought
It goes all the way
down to your ankles.
No, they're like capris. They're swim capris, and I found them in 2000. I don't know what year it was when I had to go on vacation with family, and you had to jump off a boat into the water. And what happens when you jump off a boat into the water? Where's your swimsuit go?
Yeah, top flies off.
Totally up your butt, and your top is off. And I was like, I'm done with this. And plus for coverage, because then you always feel like it's exposed all the time. You can't just, especially if you have kids. Ladies, if you have kids that you're chasing around, you don't be chasing around with your stuff going up your bottom. So I found this website. They're all over. Just look on Amazon.
I don't like wet. Like you want to wear those shirts, you got to wear it because when you're in Mexico, it gets so hot.
Oh, yeah.
Those water
The
shirts,
water shirt.
the way it clings to your body.
so uncomfortable
I hate
when it
that
gets
feeling.
wet.
You take it off, you feel so free.
Well, you get the shirt. That's fine.
I
But
feel like you're
this
just
is
sitting like you peed your pants.
This is like a little, like you can wear like, it's like a biker short. You can wear like capri pant type swim. They're made out of swim fabric. So it dries very fast and you can wear it all day long. So you don't feel like you have to have a cover up to go to the cafe and have lunch and then go back to the beach or go into the shop and shop. I don't know. I don't agree with that stuff. Maybe a lot of people do. I just buy
62
differently
is pretty
now.
high.
60% is a high number.
Real quick,
Okay.
play the audio real quick.
This is Thomas Jefferson University's epic fail of graduation over the weekend when easy names like Sarah Virginia Brennan sounded like Sayer Uvun Jingu Brinan.
Do you want me to say what they're
Yeah,
supposed to
say
be?
what they're supposed to say.
Okay, this first one is supposed to be Allison Nicole Bishop.
Alisuna Cole Bishop. Saeed
And
What's wrong with this person?
This next one is Sarah Virginia Brennan.
Uvun Jinju Brinan.
Who does that?
This one is a little bit different. Maeve Elizabeth Brostowski.
Maybe Lee Zubeth Bratowski.
Got Bertowski
How'd you get
right.
that part
She
right?
got Brotowski right, but she got everything else wrong.
So
Next one. Oh, okay, sorry. Molly Elizabeth Camp.
Marlena Zobeth Camp.
I cannot.
She can't read.
Wait, I have to do this
woman
last
can't
one.
read.
The name is Thomas Jefferson University, right?
Yeah.
This kid's name is Thomas Michael Canavari.
Mulme. Thomas.
Do that one again.
How do you
Do the
not know
beginning.
how to
Roll it back to
say
how she started
Thomas?
his name again, because I didn't hear a
Tamume?
T. I didn't even hear a T in that.
Mulme.
Oh.
Tom Mume.
Tom Mume. Come on.
Oh, my God.
Who is this woman and why?
This makes
why?
this school look really bad.
Oh, to go into hiding.
It makes me crazy.
Hasn't she done this before?
No, I guess not.
Clearly didn't
Kevin,
prep ahead of
forget
time.
not doing it before. The word Thomas.
Yeah.
The word Thomas.
Tom Mume.
Tom Mume.
It's Thomas
What is
Jefferson
that?
University. What does she call it?
I still think my idea is great where every kid gets to record themselves because they know the order.
Yeah.
Just say your own
You
name.
can say your own name and you can do like a little thumbs up. You could do like something you know, it's a good memory. Your
Yeah.
family sees you on the screen and you're all.
But then you're going to get some kid that's a wise ass and he decides to say something
No, it's edited.
Yeah, it's
all recorded,
pre-produced.
ready to go.
pre-produced. Okay.
Yeah, of course pre-produced. You can't do that live. It'll take forever to
You
graduate.
do it the
Oh, yeah.
week
It'll take
before.
every kid will take like 10 seconds. Like, oh my God, we're here for 4 hours.
When you go to
And
pick
shout
up
out
your
to my
stuff.
mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was an
You
epic
get 3
fail.
seconds.
They say that all of the cards that this lady was reading, they did not show the full names. It just showed the phonetic pronunciation breakdowns. That's ridiculous.
She wasn't even close with
Why
that.
wouldn't you even show the full name? Thomas.
Tom Mume.
Come on.
Hey, yo. Time for KRBE's Roula and Ryan show to tell you what's going down.
By the way, where'd you get those pants? People want to know.
Oh, I just found them on Amazon. Just look up swim capris. Just put in swim capris and all this entire line of tank tops and short shorts like tennis skirts that are made out of fabric for swimming. You can wear them to do sport activities in the water.
Cool.
It's really good.
Okay, so Verlander rebounded from one of his roughest starts as an Astro, and he really did throw great. He threw 7 scoreless innings against the Tigers
He
yesterday.
should. That's where he had like 100 victories before.
Yeah.
That was his. That's when he goes to the Hall of Fame, he'll probably wear a Detroit Tigers hat.
You think so?
Shouldn't, since he won titles here with us and MVPs as well.
I think I'd be
too.
kind of bothered.
Houston
if that's
won
what
9-3.
happens.
Yeah, but
He's going to wear a Tigers hat.
that's what they're saying. But if he get another year or two, if he get 2 more
How
years,
many
with
years
us,
was he with Detroit?
I forgot. He's more than what he is with us. That's where he started. That's where he became a legend, supposedly.
Well, I know, but he won 2 titles with the Stros.
And he got 2 MVPs.
Can he wear a split jersey?
I don't think it works that way. Hey, the Rockets.
Why not?
How would that work?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The Rockets earned a 3rd pick in the upcoming NBA draft.
Awesome.
Hawks won the draft lottery. They
We
get the
thought-
first pick.
Maybe 9th pick they'd get.
Because
Because they had the pick from Brooklyn. We had 2 chances to be in the top 4
Okay.
or top 10. And we lost 1 pick. It goes to the Thunder because it had to be 4, 3, 2, or 1, or we lose it. So they lost that one, but we got Brooklyn's pick, and that got us a 3rd pick. That's
Well,
huge.
why would we lose any of the picks?
When you made a trade,
Oh,
like,
'cause
hey,
they-
we're going to trade for this
negotiated,
player.
okay. Got
We
it,
gave
got it,
you
got it.
Russell Westbrook or something, or what's his name? Chris, oh my God, I just forgot his name. Oh my God, Chris Paul. When we gave Chris
Oh,
Paul to
yeah.
them, we said,
Oh, okay.
you take his big contract and we'll give you our first round
Oh,
pick.
right, because they were overtaking his
3
contract.
years from now.
Okay, got it. It's a bunch of negotiation is what
Yep.
that is.
That's what's going down in H-Town.
Did you miss what happened on Rule and Ryan's Roses Update today? Sandy called us to tell us how her weekend went after she found out her boyfriend, Billy, had been hooking up with a girlfriend that he used to date in high school. And the grandma called it out, didn't she?
Yep.
Everyone in this family's a cheater. You're going to get the recap and the update next on the Rule and Ryan Show.